Hello, welcome to my channel. This is where we keep reality for real. My name is Gabriel, and today I have a brother. He is not a new person on this podcast. My brother Sam, he's here today. So we'll be talking about certain issues, issues that are social issues. And so, welcome, my brother.
Oh, thank you. It's another great time.
Yeah,
Another great
it's been
time
a while
on this platform. Yeah,
it's been a while. I mean, I know you are in school, and then you work at the same time. So sometimes it's not easy to have you around. But I mean, it's good to have you.
That's right.
It's good to have you.
Yeah.
And what is happening?
I mean, everything is falling in place the way it should. Let me put it like that.
Yeah.
Everything is actually on course.
Yeah.
Once you have life, every other thing is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Once there's life present in you, every other thing is possible. So you don't look at your setbacks, your difficulties, your challenges, but you press on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what Paul said. I press on to the mark of the high calling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you keep pressing on.
Yeah.
You know, and once you can put in some few ingredients, you realize that you'll gradually be getting closer to your goal.
That's true.
Every day is a step to what you have planned for in the future, what you have conceptualized. Every single day is a step to it. So
absolutely,
you'll be going gradually until what you get.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
I think this is the first time we've come to see the set. Set like that.
Yes.
Yeah, because we started without there's nothing.
I'm telling you, there are a lot of additions. I mean, a lot actually.
Yeah.
I was just watching the design behind you with a small radio.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, Charlie. Yeah.
It's just a beginning.
So you see, that's what I'm saying. It's just, there's a bigger dream out there.
Yes.
But every other step you take is towards the achievement of that dream.
Yeah.
And then
that's true. Yeah. That's true. I mean, sometimes when I told I told few people that I wanted to start a YouTube channel. They don't really understand. They don't really know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Even myself, I don't know what I wanted to do. Honestly, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But every day in and day out, God actually allows me to have different dreams every day.
And then
an addition.
Ideas come into mind, what you are supposed to do, and then all that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very shocking, seriously.
Absolutely.
Very, very shocking.
Absolutely. I don't even know my abilities.
And then
until I started
doing it,
Yes.
And amazingly, when you made mention of certain things, I think a couple of weeks back, about the fact that there were a lot of the things that you had nobody to teach you.
Absolutely.
Like you just go on there, look at how to do it, sometimes online, read about it.
Absolutely.
And then you get your hands on it and you are able to do. There are certain things that you could easily do, but you would need guidance from people.
Absolutely.
But in some of the cases, it means that, once you see some of those things coming in, then you will know that you're actually on the right course. Because things become flexible for you once you keep your hands or you put your hands on doing it.
Absolutely.
So I think, Charlie,
absolutely,
the additions are just superb.
There was a time I was making a content and I was telling the audience about my dream. I mean, not many people watch that video actually, but I was speaking to people. I was speaking as if I have like thousands of people watching, and I know that at that time,
at that time was just
I don't even have 5 people, 10 people who come and watch. Wow. I was doing, and I was telling them that the dream is to have a studio, and the kind of studio that I'm talking about is sometimes it's very difficult for people to understand, because if you have never been to, if you have been in America, you have seen studios, huge studios. But when in Africa, I don't really know what kind of studio we're talking about, you see. But I'm talking about an organization, like, like a huge something, there is this guy, Marquis Brownlee.
Okay.
He's also on YouTube. He actually makes videos on technology and those things. And if you see the guy's studio,
You'll be amazed.
If you see the guy studio,
search for him.
the equipment, the machines,
Wow.
the cameras, the sound.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And the people that work,
that is excellence, like highest level
absolutely.
of excellence.
Absolutely.
Oh.
So that is what I'm talking about. You see? And so, I mean, I'm saying all these things for people to know that, when you watch my video, don't just pass by.
Just watch the new beginnings.
Yes,
now.
You have just seen something that you have just.
So if you are young, just watch the new beginnings now.
Absolutely.
Once you are growing and then you are getting to now see how it's going to be like.
Absolutely.
Then you
absolutely.
Really
I just want you to see what how
the beginning looks like. Yeah.
And when we get there,
the truth is that the beginning is what will make you appreciate the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so once you see how the beginning looks like, and then you now get to see how the future is now.
Yes.
Then you now appreciate, the effort the person has actually placed into all that.
You see.
So Charlie, we actually pray for, that greater dream. All the people who have those big channels, big studios, amazing studios with sounds, with quality pictures, quality videos. They all started like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's no
except that maybe the person is
as a matter of fact,
rich already.
Even if the person is extremely rich, the person still started from somewhere.
Absolutely. That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
No, irrespective of how rich the person is.
Yes.
You can't just jump into riches. You understand?
That's true.
Yes. So the person might be rich. The parents might be rich and then even transferred wealth.
Yes.
To him or her.
Yeah.
But that point where the person received that is the person's starting point.
That's true.
So he also started from somewhere.
Yes.
And then decided to climb up.
Yes.
Yeah, so Charlie is the same.
Yes.
It's the same.
The other day I have we have some microphones.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, the smaller one.
I remember those. Yeah. All those ones.
But
so when I came and then I saw these ones,
you got a new one.
Charlie,
and it's not cheap. It's not that cheap. This is almost $600. Wow. It's $500, but you have to buy.
That's right. So with
the taxes
that's just for the set.
Yes, so almost $600, and so I have to. So it's about $1,200 and that.
Amazing.
So it's not. I will not do it if I don't have a dream or I don't have a plan.
That's right. Yes. Why would you waste all those money if you think you are just doing it for? No, it just doesn't make sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we are just hoping one day when we come back to the studio.
Oh yes,
we would have a.
Yes, we will not come. You not come to this house.
We will have a huge place.
Yeah, we will not come to this house.
Everything. As a matter of workers even working, putting things together, and then
yes,
it's going to be.
There's this
very
guy
nice experience.
in Ghana who speaks about you can't be rich by praying and all those things, but you have to work. You need a product. That I've forgotten about his man, but really? I actually followed him on Instagram because I really like him. I like what he says.
Okay.
You see, when I came to America, the dream is to do something, but I don't know what it is. You see, I don't know what it is. Where to go to school, or so. Actually, I went to school. I think I went to the same school. Yes,
I remember you were telling me that.
You see, and I got sick, so I couldn't continue. But even before I went to Rice State, I went to Ohio University.
Okay.
No, Ohio State University.
That's
OSU.
OSU, not Ohio University. Okay.
OSU. And I did a course for just one semester.
Okay.
And the course that I really wanted, they want me to do some prerequisites. So I started from the prerequisites. So I didn't start on the course itself.
So you took the prerequisites first.
But I don't know what was really happening with me. I just felt like something is wrong somewhere. As if I'm not supposed to go to school. I don't know really what is happening. I stopped. I went to the Navy. I couldn't finish. I came back home. There were so many things that I've started, but I couldn't finish. And sometimes you may think that it's maybe in Africa, you may think that maybe it's
feel fun to do with you.
Oh yes.
That's those of us who don't understand.
But
those of us who don't understand what we just said, you would think that it is some evil spirits.
Absolutely.
That is kind of fighting you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's all. We are all taught like that when we're in Africa. Yes, we're all taught like that. So,
but it's not really understand. It is you yourself. You feel like there's something you are looking for.
That's right.
But you don't know what you are looking for.
That's right.
So you may think that, okay, let me go to school and see
if I'm going to get that from school.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you meet somebody telling you, okay, do this, okay, then you follow for a while. But when you follow for a while, you realize that no, this is not what I'm looking
working for you. That's right.
You see?
Yeah.
And so you continue and continue and continue. So if you don't really take your time,
yes,
and give your time some time,
yeah, like
a year or two to really think deep.
That's right. Yeah. So
you may think that you may even be depressed.
That's right. I mean, what you are talking about, absolutely true. So you will see that because you really don't know what you want to do, you would be jumping from this to this to the other. And then somebody tells you, I think this avenue is a good venture for you. You say, okay, then let me.
You just go into it.
You just go into it. You go, it doesn't work out for you. Then you start thinking, okay, then let me go and do this.
Yes.
You go there and it still doesn't work the way you want it. So things like that, or with people who have such issues, okay, I have come to realize that people can have such issues and then finally settle on one particular thing that is going to drive them, okay, to their what? To their destined or to their destination.
Yeah.
And generally, I want to, talk about the fact that for every human being, for every individual, one thing that is most important to you whilst you are on earth here is to discover purpose.
Absolutely.
And once you are able to discover purpose, then you would have the path to walk through to that purpose. So it first comes with discovery. And discovery is not just, bread and butter.
Absolutely.
Discovery is hard work.
Very difficult.
Yes. So for all the people, for all the things that are discovered, for the people, let's even come to the sciences. Each and every time there's new discoveries of elements in addition to what? The ones that we already have. There are new discoveries of different elements, what they can be used for, and then all that.
Yes.
And the fact is that those discoveries were not made on silver platters.
Yeah.
They were, in fact, it took hard work.
Hard work.
It took discipline. It took diligence to discover those things.
Yeah.
And so before you can discover your purpose, you have to put in hard work. And
work.
The various searching, you go into this, it doesn't work, you move into this, it's all part of the hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all part. So all those hard work comes in, then finally you discover that this is the field that I am very good at. This is the field that I believe I was made for.
Yes.
Because God created everybody with a purpose. There is no human being that was created without a purpose. If not, your existence on earth would have been of no effect.
Absolutely.
Your existence on earth would have been nonsensical. There would have been no sense you were existing on earth without a purpose. So God, upon creating everybody, needed to add something we call purpose. So he added to everybody's life.
Yeah.
And so there are people who have misplaced purpose. There are people who have lost track of purpose. And there are those who have not even discovered what? Their purpose. And there are those who they have discovered it and then they are what? They are working towards or they are right in line with that what? With that purpose. And they are kind of following it. So I think that we've all gotten to that stage where, you have to, what do we call it? But there are solutions to all that. Yes. Maybe along the line, we'll just mention some of those things.
It's funny. Once you are discovering your purpose, as you are saying, it's very difficult. It's a point where many people may think that you are useless.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have a dream.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't have a purpose. It doesn't have, that is how the whole thing is. So unfortunately, if you have a friend, or let's say you are 3 people together, you're moving together.
Okay.
The first one has a job.
I'm just
somewhere.
guessing where you are driving towards here. Yeah.
He has a good job somewhere.
That's right.
Maybe the other one is maybe moving up and down, and you have not been able to discover what you really want to do.
Yes. And
you become like a useless person.
Yeah. Everybody sees you.
All your community,
the
community that you find yourself, nobody will respect you.
That's right.
And so sometimes you need to be very strong. Other than that, you will be depressed.
That's right. To be able to overcome,
depression comes in, then you are done.
Then you are done. Yes. So you need to be strong to be able to overcome all those pressures.
Yes.
Yes. Because probably maybe you would have just finished school, and then, once you finish school, you realize that everybody, have been able to settle on something. Some of them have been able to settle down, have families.
Yes.
And you realize that, the way you perceived how things are supposed to be.
Absolutely.
You are not seeing it like that. You realize that the focus is changing totally. And so you begin to ask yourself so many questions like, what am I actually doing with my life?
What is happening with my life?
What is happening with my life? And you see, and one significant thing in discovery is that when it comes to purpose, as we mentioned, it comes from God. It is God that gave every human being a purpose.
Yeah.
You were not just born by your parents and then, that thing you are supposed to live with, or that thing you are supposed to become or be in life just planted inside of you. No. It was God that created you and then placed that thing inside of you. That this is where you can you can function properly. Yeah. And this is where you can function well to bring glory to God. And so one of the easiest way, although discovery comes with hard work, it is not cheap.
It's not cheap.
But one of the cheapest way, so irrespective of the fact that it is not cheap, there's a cheapest way to discover it is to walk in line with what? With God and inquire from God. You understand? He is the one who plays that in there.
Yeah.
And so it is very easy for you to be directed by God on your purpose than to go fighting and looking for it by yourself. You will be stressed. You'll be depressed because you will keep searching so many avenues.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you are unable to settle on what you are looking for or what you are desperately finding, you will then be discouraged and you will end up giving up.
Yeah.
And that will be at the point where you have missed your purpose.
Your purpose.
So there are people who have completely missed
their purpose.
Their purpose. Why they are on earth. And so and some of us, we can testify of some of them. So I know you even have friends like that. When you see them and you realize that no, this guy, he has just missed it.
So can you say that for a person, there are multiple purposes for a person? Because, for instance, somebody used to play football once he was young. You see, but playing football is within an age.
Okay.
So let's say you get to 30 years, 35 years, you have not been able to become a play on a big platform and all that. So you realize that one has passed.
Okay. So let me start by addressing this. That the fact that you can do something very good, or the fact that you are very good at doing something, does not mean that is what God created you for. You get it? Yes. So you can be very good at something. You can be very good at playing football, right? You can be very good at playing football. But as a matter of fact, that might not be the purpose for which you were you were made.
Okay.
Right? So let me just, for the sake of educating our viewers, let me just read something.
Okay.
So purpose, what does it mean? The reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. Okay?
Okay.
The reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. So there is a reason for which something is done, and that is the purpose of doing that thing. There's a reason for which something is created.
Yeah.
And that reason for which it is created is its purpose.
Yeah.
And there is a reason for which something exists. And the reason why it exists is its what? Its purpose. So you can learn how to play football and be good at dribbling, be good at everything about football. And that might not be your purpose.
Okay.
You get it?
Okay.
Yes. That's why I said, when it comes to purpose, the reason for which something exists. As a matter of fact, you were created by God. You are a human being. You were not just born by your parents, your mother and your father. You were created by God. And so we have said that purpose is the reason for which something was created. You were created by God. And the purpose for which you were created, okay, is determined by the creator. You understand? And so the purpose for which you are existing is determined by whoever made you exist.
Okay.
So whoever made this phone made it for a purpose.
A purpose.
And so when he made the phone, he told you, I mean, those of us who are going to use the phone, that the purpose for doing this is this. He outlined what? The purpose.
Yeah.
And so if you now want to use this phone, what do? You consult the what? The maker of this phone.
Okay.
The one who made the phone. You consult the person. It could be through the manual. You understand? And it tells you the purpose for which it was what? It was made.
It was made.
So it tells you, okay, after packing up everything, if you want to make a call, and press this green button, and then it goes. You see, so you are making use of what? Of the purpose.
Yeah.
You are making use of the purpose of these.
Yeah.
You understand? Yes. And so the same way is God who what? Created us. And so he's the best person to what? To let us know what our purpose is. If you decide to live outside your creator, outside of the one who made you, to discover your purpose, things will be difficult for you. You get discouraged. You end up quitting. You have a misplay. In fact, you miss your purpose, and then you live like any ordinary human being.
So, can somebody?
I think I didn't answer your question. So keep that question. I just want to just chip in this one.
Okay.
So don't forget the question you want to ask right
Okay.
now. So you see, the case of whether people can be able to do multiple things, right? Okay. So personally, this is my personal view. This is my personal belief. So you see, I just gave an example using the phone. This phone was made primarily for what? For callings. In fact, when phones, started existing, primarily it was for what? It was for call making, sometimes sending SMSs and then, all that. And whilst time evolved, there are different purposes
of the same phone.
Yes, that are attached to this, and is able to do so many things now, several things now that you cannot even think of.
Yeah,
amazingly, you can even just attach two phones like that and then transfer even a file. You understand? And so things evolve with time. And so personally, I believe that God looks at you, the individual he has made, and gives you the ability to what? To do things. Okay? Yes. Gives you the ability. Now it is up to you, the individual, to develop. You see, the purpose is there. So you have discovered it. God has helped you. You have discovered it. Now it is up to you, the individual, to develop it. And that is where
and get to the highest.
That is it.
Highest.
So
level.
that is where the multiple things starts coming in. So now you are developing the purpose by yourself. You understand? Yes. So you keep developing and developing until you could realize that there's some particular person, the person can do this, he's good at it. Once he enters into this venture, the person is able to thrive well. He enters into another place, he's able to do so well. He enters into another place, he's able to do so well. So you are developing that in inside of you. You understand? In that case, people will assume that you have multiple purposes, but it's actually the development of the purpose you discovered.
There's a primary purpose.
That is it. There's a primary purpose. Once it's discovered and then it develops, then it gets to that stage or that level you're talking about. You get it? Yeah. So maybe I can just say that.
So recently I had a podcast with a young woman. Well, not a young woman, but she's a woman.
Okay.
And she was talking about depression.
Okay.
And there's something that we didn't talk about, but later on it came into my mind. And I wanted to know if it might be one of the reasons why people get depressed. Somebody can be rich. You see? Okay. Somebody has started a business, has a company, or maybe a CEO, or maybe a musician, a very successful musician, an entertainer. You understand?
Yeah.
Somebody may be a sportsman, is doing well, has money and everything. But that person will still feel like, I'm alone. Some feel like, I've not attained my purpose. I've not really attained, there's something missing in my life. You see? I think you have seen a lot of those things.
I've seen a lot. I've even come across, there's one that happened just last week. So when you are done, I'll just come in.
You find out that the person, if somebody sees that person, you can say, you have everything in life. You have money. You may have relationship. You may have a wife. You may have a husband.
You have children.
What do you want again in life?
Why do you say you are depressed?
But a person will be in that kind of. The thing is like a prison.
Yeah.
It's like a prison.
As a state
As if
depression.
they can't move left, they can't move right, they can't move. And people who are not rich or they don't even have what they had will be living their life and they're happy. Is it because of the purpose, the same purpose that we are talking about?
Okay. So you see the canal you just went through is to assume that, okay, so the person, this individual is doing well in a particular field.
Yes.
Like is doing so well. It means that, the person is actually he's on the right path. He has discovered his purpose, is working through that purpose and everything is kind of successful. And the person still at a point, complains of depression. And it kind of, does that mean that the person feel unsatisfied?
Satisfied.
Irrespective of
all the things that
the things, they have, and then all that, they still feel unsatisfied. It looks like there's something missing. There's something, really missing in their lives, right? So, in such instances and such cases, I personally believe that. So let me just come in with what I said. I spoke with somebody last week, and then the person was telling me, a lady, and then she was like, she's also a woman. Let me say that. Yeah. So she was saying that, for last week, you were not able to see me all this time because I was depressed and what do you call it? So while she was saying it, I was just in front of her. I was like, and then depression. I mean, you were what? Depressed. Because of our backgrounds, okay? Our backgrounds as Africans, we don't really give depression the room to operate. Let me say that. Yeah, we don't really give depression the room to operate. The truth is that even if you are depressed, in fact, depression himself will know that the word depression itself will know that he cannot, or the word itself cannot function properly in your body. That's right, because of the background we come from. We don't get easily depressed. That's the truth. Yes. Yeah. Because so when she was saying it, I was like, it looks kind of funny. And then when she was complaining, I was like, what is depression? What do you mean by you're depressed? You are working, you have what you will eat, you have what your kids will eat, you're okay, you are living in your apartment, you have your car. So what else
do you want?
Are you looking for? And then complaining about depression. So it looked weird to me. Yeah. But, just to address what you just asked, I think that people, this depression thing has to do with mood swings, right? So people can, enter certain moods at, some instances in their life. And that doesn't mean that, they have missed purpose. That doesn't also mean that they are not satisfied with what they are into. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So there are instances and cases where, let me bring this in before saying what I want to say. You see, you could discover your purpose and you could be in line, okay, doing what you are supposed to do, to get to that destination smoothly. Mm-hmm. But the path there might not be as smooth as you perceive.
As easy as, yeah.
You understand? And so there might be certain turbulences, rough times.
Patches. Mm-hmm.
During,
you have to move.
Yes, during your time. And then, there are things that you are supposed to do and not do. It comes with a whole lot. Mm. And so during that time, if you are not so careful, you would end up thinking that you actually not on the right path.
Yeah.
You end up thinking that because you are not kind of satisfied on, maybe a certain challenge that came along the line, you have a purpose. There are a lot of things that are going to come through that is going to assume to you that you cannot go any longer.
Yeah.
You cannot do this again. You are depressed. I mean, your moods, there are things that will come that's going to switch your moods and get you depressed, get you tired, because there's a stage where you are even pushing, it is not going. You are doing, you could see that this is what I'm good at, this is what I can do. In the case of the footballers you are even talking about, there are some of them that, started very young. They've played and played and played and played and played and played. But maybe at the very point where they were just about to break through, they just lost focus and said, I don't think this is the right thing for me to do.
Yeah.
So I had to and then they just left it like that. They missed it.
Yeah.
And you realize that they will end up doing something else. And it won't give them the satisfaction that the other thing would have given them. You get it? Yeah. So I personally believe that it is actually what comes along the way, because it's a journey.
But is it there? Like, as we are talking about purpose, I think that you have to align with your dreams.
Yeah.
And your talent sometimes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you might not be, for instance, somebody can play keyboard. He doesn't really want to become a keyboardist professionally, but he just can play. You see?
So that is a talent.
And so
yes, that's a talent. Yeah.
But so I want to know whether all the talents that a person should have
is connected,
or the person has is connected with your purpose.
To your purpose.
Or sometimes some of them are just happen.
I also believe that, personally, I believe that things don't just happen like that. Things don't just happen because they were supposed to happen. They happen because they intentionally happen. You understand? It means that they happen because they are orchestrated, divinely orchestrated. You understand? So you see, one of the things, you see, they happen because they are divinely orchestrated. Let me just go along that line. They are divinely orchestrated. They happen because they are meant to happen. That is how they are designed. That's how the design looks like. That's how the design looks like. So you want to go to dating, the road is designed in such a way that you have to pass here, move towards here, go here. So you see, they have to happen because they are designed to happen. So you want to, maybe primarily God has purposed your life to be, let's say God has purposed your life to be a minister of God, a pastor. But you realize that right from when you were growing, there were no signs like that. There were no signs like that. You ended up, becoming, let's say, just as you said, a keyboardist. You ended up becoming a keyboardist even in a secular area where you understand. And eventually, everything works and then comes in line, and then it falls in place, and you are able to become what God wants you to become. Yeah. So I believe that is a whole road, is a whole journey, and so many things. So your talent comes in. There are certain things you are very good at, you can do, there are things you have to learn and even, be very good at. You understand? So all those things comes in, and then eventually what takes you to what? To that place of fulfillment. That place of fulfillment where you now get to and you realize that, you have actually arrived at where God wants you to what? Where God wants you to arrive. At that stage, that's where you have satisfaction. Like you have some kind of inner peace and satisfaction that I now feel that I have arrived. Like you feel, you have that kind of feeling.
So we also say that almost every human being has a purpose.
Yeah.
I believe so, that everybody have a purpose. But sometimes it seems as if, somebody is coming from a family or a place or where the person is coming from. And for somebody to really be fulfilled and who realize that I have become attained a certain level where I will be able to influence other people and all that. Sometimes there is something I always say: exposure.
Okay.
You see, but exposure doesn't really happen automatically. You see, it has to be something like maybe a school that you went, or maybe 1 week that you went to stay in Accra. Personally, for me, I've never been in Accra. I've never stayed in Accra. I've only come to Accra for a vacation.
Okay.
And then I carried the whole thing I saw in Accra. I carried it with my life when I went back to the village. And I have always determined that I will move away to stay at that place. Yeah. So all this while I was in school and all those things, I was thinking that I will move away from this village and move to Accra. You see? And God didn't bring me to Accra, but he brought me to America. But let's assume that somebody has not had that opportunity
or that exposure.
Yeah. You see, it becomes very difficult. For instance, at the age of 15 years to 20, you must be in high school or something like that. Yeah. But you've never had a chance
to even be
to go to school.
Yeah. Yeah. So
don't you think that environment
also affects people's purposes? Yeah. So I mean, that's a very, very brilliant and interesting question. So you see, that I said earlier that every individual has a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, you will not be existing. So the purpose is the reason for which you exist. And no two purposes are the same. Because no two individuals are the same. Even identical twins are different. You understand? Their DNAs are not the same. So no two human beings are the same on earth. Everybody is different. Once you are different, everybody is different with a different purpose. So you personally have your reason why God made you. And your brother who is just next to you or after you has also the reason why God made him to exist on what? On it. As a matter of fact, the reason why you should even be in Columbus and then the reason why, other people should be somewhere else. You get it? So, just as you have said, we said earlier that the fact that this is the reason why you are made, which is your purpose on earth, the fact that God has given every human being a purpose does not mean that automatically you would fulfill that purpose.
That purpose. Okay.
So it is up to you to work towards fulfilling that purpose. And whilst working towards fulfilling that purpose, all what you are mentioning comes in. Exposure, you understand? Exposure, discipline, a whole lot of things. So somebody would move, just as you said, to a city, look at the lifestyle there, and then put things together. And, you could clearly see that the person is actually working in what? The person is actually, determining to fulfill his or her purpose in life. Another person would also decide to be dormant, isolate himself, be dormant, and then still, expect to fulfill his or her purpose. It doesn't work like that. You understand? So the fact that, you have a purpose on it. Somebody was asking a question some time ago that, if God feels that, if God has given each of every one of us a purpose on earth, then that same God should at least make sure that every one of us, get to our purpose smoothly, get to that place smoothly. It doesn't work like that. No, it doesn't work like that. You have a purpose, discover that purpose. Once you discover that purpose, work towards fulfilling that purpose. And whilst working towards fulfilling that purpose, then all what you are talking about comes in. You understand? Yes. So, you'll be exposed to, you decide to have, sometimes, you see the decision you took. You decided to come on vacation in Accra. And once you came to vacation, you saw certain things, you felt that, if I should apply this to my life and then all that, it's going to really help me. So you decided that when you go back to the village, you are just going to put things together and even move to Accra. And then you see, so all those things culminates to hard work in order to make sure that that purpose, you don't want to live on earth as, I want to use a word I've just forgotten, but you don't want to live on earth as if you don't have a purpose. Why? Good. So there's a phrase, or there's something we usually say, that when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So when the purpose of a thing is not known, its abuse is inevitable. Its abuse, the thing can be abused anytime. Just as I use this phone as an example. Once we don't know the purpose of this phone, we will just abuse it. I'm telling you, we'll just abuse it because we don't know the purpose for what for this.
That's true.
Yeah. So once we also don't know the purpose for which we are on earth, we'll end up abusing every opportunity we have. We'll end up abusing time. We'll end up abusing people who come closer to us. We'll end up probably maybe it's the people who come closer to you are those to drive you towards your your fulfilling your purpose. But because we don't know our purpose, we'll end up abusing anything. Abusing our lives, abusing our bodies, abusing anything. Yeah, there are some ladies, they abuse their body. They just abuse their body. They allow anybody to enter. Why? Because they have not discovered purpose, or they have discovered purpose, but they are not developing. They are not putting it in any hard work to make sure that that purpose is fulfilled. The fact that God gave you the purpose does not mean that you should sit idle. And then remain dormant. You will miss it. You will miss purpose. You will miss your purpose while you are on earth. You end up complaining. You end up blaming people. There are people who blame their parents. You blame your father, you blame your mother that they didn't take you to school. And because they didn't take you to school, you cannot do anything reasonable in life.
Yeah.
And, those are people who have missed purpose. They end up blaming others. The fact that your parents didn't take you to school does not mean that you will not succeed. So I think that, just as we said, the fact that God has given every human being a purpose does not mean that you should sit idle and then expect that automatically the purpose will be fulfilled. It comes with hard work, it comes with discipline, it comes with diligence, it comes with so many things. And that is what's going to drive you towards fulfilling that purpose. So once you decide not to do those things, then you miss it. Yes, if you decide not to do those things, you miss it. There are even instances where, that's why I said no two purposes are the same, because no two human beings or no two individuals are the same. Somebody is to become a footballer and then become very successful in playing football. But you know that might not even be the purpose. That might be a road to that purpose. Maybe the person is supposed to be very successful, get a charity home, pick up people, put them in develop their talents, develop them, feed them, do a whole lot of things. Maybe that is what the person's purpose. That's what God wants the person to do, to be fulfilled and satisfied in life. But that becoming that footballer to even earn so much was just an avenue to get there. You understand? Yeah. So once you are not ready as an individual to put in hard work towards fulfilling that purpose, then you are not ready to fulfill. You are entirely not ready to fulfill that purpose. Yes. So I believe my question is answered.
Yeah.
Per what you asked, I think that I believe my question is answered with that. Yeah.
Your children. Now we have children.
Okay.
You see, but this child also had a purpose for which God brought them. How would, as a parent, identify at least not all the purpose, but at least so that you'll be able to put the child on a platform? You see, because sometimes parents do this in a certain way. I want my children to go to Harvard. And so even if the child wants to go to Juilliard, because Juilliard is a creative whatever, music, acting, and all those things. It's a very big school, but they are more creative, and you have the money to. But no, I want my child to go to Johns Hopkins so that he become a medical doctor.
Yeah.
But the child doesn't want to become. As a parent, are you not abusing the child? And how would you know exactly what's
the purpose of the child is?
You see, because sometimes I look at my child for a while and I look at the child. She does different things. In everything, you can see that this child can function here. Maybe sometimes you go and see this keyboard. He'll be playing this. He's not even know how to play the keyboard, but he's playing all this. This child doesn't like music. Sometimes she's on her computer and does this child, does she like, I'm trying to identify what this child can really find. And it's very difficult to know.
Do that,
and as a parent, you need to know how
that's
to.
Right, yes.
Are we not pushing our children on the wrong direction if you are not very careful?
You're very careful. So so exactly what you have said. You even answered it already. So you see, like just as you have said, it takes time. Yeah, it takes it takes quite some time to be able to know what exactly they were made for. What exactly it's inside of them. You understand? So it's not, as a matter of fact, what they are learning to do now, but that thing that is going to open up their purpose is inside of them. It's inside of them. And so it takes some time to be able to, know. And so as a parent, one of the advice I'll give to for our viewers out there, I mean, this is, we know this podcast the purpose is to educate people and then give them the information, the right information. So for parents out there who are just watching us every time, we want to let you know that it takes time for you to what? To
notify.
To note or to take note of what purpose, your children were made for, or what they were created for, or what they exist for. It takes time. And so as a parent, just get time. Don't push children into what, God has not created them for. You end up what? You end up destroying their lives.
The child.
Yes, you end up destroying their lives. So just give yourself time. Just as I said, the Creator is the one to let you know what you were made for. So keep praying for your children every time. Lord, let me know what these children are made for. You get it?
Yeah. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you so much. Yeah. And so audience, you have my brother Sam. He has also given us a very interesting insight of purpose. I want to say that please keep subscribing to the channel.
That's right.
And your comments. Please write your comments. Let be part of the conversation. Most of the times I see that people don't really comment so much.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like
they watch it. They watch it a lot, but they don't comment.
Yes. Yeah. So sometimes I feel like maybe what we are doing is not interesting or something like that. But I know you are interested.
Oh yeah.
In what you are doing.
So watch it. Please put your comments there.
Yes.
I mean, tell us. You can just tell us an experience you have even had with your child. You can tell us an experience you have had personally.
Absolutely.
It keeps us learning. Actually, yes.
Absolutely.
When I see the comments, I read a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, put it there. We'll read the ones that needs response. I mean,
yes.
You just give you responses on that. Yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you very much for watching. And like I always say, in another day, we'll see you again. Thank you.